Hey, we're back for part 2 of I'm not sure how many parts of a video of movies that we watched this year. Yes, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this category is worst movies / most disappointing movies because that was the easiest thing to do. Again, very last minute. It's 10:30. We should be in bed right now. So the first most disappointing thing that we watched this year was the Harry Potter thing.
Oh.
So disappointing.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Because we just watched one that was also really disappointing.
What? Oh no, yeah, that's not a movie though. So we watched at the start of the year the Harry Potter 20th anniversary Return to Hogwarts video, and I actually do remember. I think I did a movie wrap up for January because I remember talking crap about this already. I gave it 2 stars, which I think is very, very generous. I think it deserved like 1 star probably.
Yeah, Draco was trapped in the Familiar's lounge.
But you know, this was very cheesy, very put on. The intro is like all of the actors finding letters to Hogwarts, like in surprising places, and being surprised that they get letters to Hogwarts, and it made me want to throw up because it was so cheesy and so stupid. And then yeah, it was very lackluster. There was nothing special about it. It was just very forced and
we wanted a return to the set of Friends type situation.
yeah, and that was not this.
Not at all.
No. Do you have anything to say? How many stars would you give it out of 5?
I was just sad.
Okay.
It made me sad to watch it.
It was very sad.
Because, yeah, I wanted them to, like, you know, it was a crazy set. And we saw, like, none of it in the thing.
Yeah, that's true.
And like all the characters didn't really interact with each other.
Yeah.
We're all like separated into tiny little sad groups.
So sad. Also on the first,
and then there was a lot of parts of it that were not even filmed at the thing. Like there's all those like pre-recorded interviews that they had done. I don't know. Yeah, 1 out of 5 stars at most.
At most. Okay, perfect. We're going to move on now to the next movie, which is Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. I watched the whole Pirates series, and 4 and 5 should be thrown in the trash. I don't know why they exist. I don't think that you watched these with me because you were like in and out of the house. So you saw like maybe bits and pieces.
It was about weird tie-dyeing?
Okay, let's move on. I can't deal with you. So I gave a half star to a movie called The Darkness that I don't remember. And my review just says was a 2 star until that ending. And I remember now I was going to watch a trailer of this so that I could get refreshed. I'm kind of remembering. I think it's like a supernatural. Oh, right. A family returns from a Grand Canyon vacation with a supernatural presence in tow. This family goes on a trip. I think the little boy picks up some kind of like relic or something. Like he goes into some unknown cave and picks up a relic, and that relic has like some kind of spirit attached to it. And then bad things start happening, and then the ending is absolute garbage. Did you watch this one with me? You must have. I can't imagine watching this by myself.
Jake said he really likes The Darkness.
Baby, I need you to really try not to drive me crazy when we're doing these videos. Okay. Please stop. He's talking about the band. God. Okay, so then the next thing I gave 1 star to is something called Aftermath.
You're trying to trigger me. You said queso.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. I'll stop. I'll be a good participant. I'm so sorry. I couldn't help it. Aftermath. 2021. I promise. I'll be good.
I don't believe you.
I promise.
Okay, Aftermath from 2021, and I think this is the one where someone's pregnant, maybe. Wow, maybe this was a bad idea. Oh, do you remember that one? It's the one with the guy living in the basement. It's not good. Don't watch it. But it's like some creepy this family. I think maybe the husband cheated on her or something, and so they're like, let's start our lives over. And so then they move into this new house because they want a fresh start. And then weird things start happening. And then the husband is kind of gaslighting the wife because, well, I mean, I guess he's not technically gaslighting her because he doesn't know what's going on either. He's just like telling her, no, you're wrong, you're nonsense, like nothing that you're saying is true. But he doesn't know that it's not true. So it's not like, I think that there needs to be like an intent with gaslighting as opposed to just like, I don't believe you. Right?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But either way, bad things happen, and don't watch the movie because it's not good. And if you want to know what happens, I'll let you know so that you don't have to burden your soul with that terrible, terrible thing. Then there's something called Friend Request that I gave 1.5 stars to. You watched that one with me, right? The one where there's like this really cool popular girl and there's this like dark disturbed girl with her hair like in front of her face, and then she asks her to be her friend, and then she's like sending her all these messages like, oh da 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 da, oh da 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 da, oh da 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 da. Do you remember? And then she's like, you're crazy, and then she unfriends her, and then this girl like loses her mind, and like I think it's a supernatural spirit thing. I think she's like a ghost, or like some kind of revengey ghosty maybe thing. Do you remember?
That sounds familiar, but I don't remember.
I think it has the guy that plays no, never mind. I thought it was the guy that played the one guy in Veronica Mars with the bus. Beaver. I thought Beaver was in it, but he's not in it. Anyways, also not good. It would be more fun if you remembered anything about these movies. Midnight Meat Train?
Seen it twice.
What do you have to say about Midnight Meat Train? I gave it 1 star.
I just sort of disagree with the premise of the movie.
And what's the premise?
General.
And what do you disagree about it?
I can't. The premise is the whole plot, and discussing it too much is giving away stuff.
Okay, well, can you give a vague description of the movie?
Basically, there's a photographer guy who
Bradley Cooper.
is, down on his luck and sort of losing his mind.
Mm-hmm.
And, things occur. And
there's a train, and people get murdered on the train.
People had too much money, and they made this movie.
Brooke Shields.
It's entertaining.
Who is Brooke Shields in that movie? I don't remember her being in the movie at all. That's okay. I guess it doesn't really matter.
No.
Maybe she's his mom or something? Because she's definitely...
Nothing about this movie matters, except if you're in the universe in which this movie matters, then it's one of the most important things that you should know.
It's not helpful, but... Okay, let's move on. The next one I gave 1.5 stars to is The Lego Movie. Did you like it?
It was kind of enjoyable. I don't remember it too much. I think, and part of it is like, there's a lot of stuff happening with Lego animation that I'm not totally sure how it's made, and that bothers me. Because part of me thinks like, maybe they're doing a lot of things with 3D animation, but maybe it's more analog animation. I don't know. I don't know. That's all.
I wrote in my review, I put that the animation for the Lego water was stunning, and I do remember the Lego water looking very beautiful. But Chris Pratt is one of the voices, and I absolutely hate Chris Pratt. I think he's a terrible person. So that kind of took me out of it a little bit. It's not like, if you're watching Bob's Burgers and you hear Louise's voice, I don't see whatever her face is, even though I know who she is very well. Like, I see just Louise. and all I could see was Chris Pratt when I was hearing this little Lego man talk. It's very annoying. I just don't think he's a good, I don't think he's a good voice actor. I think he just is himself, and that's it. And when you're when you're being an animated character, you need to do something a little bit special with your voice. So.
Or just not be a jerk bag.
Yeah, but you could also slightly attempt to do a voice. Then we've got Slap Face. I don't think that you watched that one with me. The premise of the movie is that there's two young boys. Well, I guess one's a young boy and one's like a teenager. And I think their mom has died. The boy deals with the loss of his mother by creating a relationship with a dangerous monster. They play a game called Slap Face. Do you know how to play Slap Face? You slap each other in the face. So one of you slaps someone.
The Office episode?
Sure. Are you talking about the KGB thing?
Mm-hmm.
It's no, because you just keep slapping each other over and over and over and over again. Because these boys have this like horrible trauma, and it's very sad. And then there's a monster that comes out of it. And yeah, it was just weird and not good. It just made me uncomfortable, the movie. It made me uncomfortable. You don't remember. I don't think that you watched it with me. Does that sound familiar to you at all?
No.
No. Ooh, next one is Mr. Holland's Opus. 1 star.
Yeah, I think I watched this a long time ago and enjoyed it a lot more, but this time it was
terrible.
Absurd.
It's absolutely terrible. It's a horrible, horrible movie.
About a horrible, horrible man.
We're trying to watch, we should get back into that. Grease is the next movie, and that's why we haven't done it, because I haven't been in the mood to watch Grease. But there's a list on, is it on Rotten Tomatoes, maybe, of like the best, like 70 best high school movies. And this is one of the movies, which first of all, it's not a high school movie because it's not about high school students. It's about an old man who is ableist and a misogynist and just in general shitty. And I'm upset that this is in my head now. And it's also obscenely long. Yeah. How long is this movie? It's like 3 hours long, isn't it? 137 minutes. That's not quite 3 hours, but it's 100 minutes too long. It felt like 4 hours. It was so bad. And then at the end, it's just all about like, everyone just like loves him, like why? Yeah. Why do we love him? Oh, right. It's about a music teacher, or actually it's about a guy who wants to be a musician, but like he can't get any jobs and he has to settle for being a music teacher. And then he has a son who's deaf, and it breaks his heart because he's obsessed with music. And how can a music teacher or a music whatever he wants to call himself have a deaf son? Oh my God, it's the end of the world. And then at the end, everyone loves him, and here you go. Terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, it made me so uncomfortable. 2 thumbs down. I need to go read the Rotten Tomato reviews of this. It was just trash. Oh, but it was fun because Damon Whitaker is in it. But I think the more famous Whitaker, what's his name? Isn't he in it too? Forrest. Doesn't he? Don't they like play? Didn't I Google that during that? Like they play. Yeah, Forrest Whitaker is in it. It's like Forrest Whitaker is like the person as an adult, and then Damon Whitaker is him as a younger person, but they're brothers in real life. Remember? That was the most interesting thing that happened during the movie watching experience, in my opinion. Don't watch it.
Yeah, the deaf son should have told his dad to fuck off.
I don't curse on my channel.
Well, you didn't.
Okay, let's try not to do that again, but I agree with what he said. Okay, then we've got The Runes. Do you remember The Runes?
Oh, no.
I surprisingly gave this one 2.5 stars, probably because it was just like so ridiculous and stupid. But we're following 1, 2, 3, 4 like privileged assholes. I don't consider that to be a curse, in case you're wondering. That go to Mexico, and then they're like, they meet some guy and they're like, oh, we're going on this like, this dig thing. And then they're like, oh, let's go with them. And then they go, and then bad things start happening.
Yeah, multiple times people are like, oh yeah, they're mad at us because we're trying to go over there and they don't want us to. And then they just like keep going, and then they have many opportunities to not go there, and they just keep going there. And then there's more opportunities for them to not go there, and then they go there, and then it
ends poorly for them. They get what they deserve.
It takes them too long to get what they deserve.
It is creepy. I will say it's creepy. There's basically it's like there's a vine or plant or something in the runes that, baby, I don't know what you're doing right now, but I don't like it. It looks like you're trying to get my phone, and I don't know why. Baby. Okay, let's just keep going and hope for the best. But anyways, this plant, it mimics their noises. So like it's...
What's that bird's name?
What bird's name? A woodpecker? A cuckoo?
From the videos?
What are you
said
doing?
The famous lady?
The famous lady?
With the animals?
And
there's the bird that knocks over her phone. You said she's really famous?
Oh, no. Oh, it's an ostrich. I guess that is technically a bird. It's... What's the name of the ostrich? Mm-hmm. Oh gosh, I don't know. It's Knucklebunk Farms or Knuckle something Farms. I don't know. Henry, Leonard, Leroy. I don't remember. What does that have to do with anything? Okay, Laverne, who's out of frame and people can't see. This is terrible. I don't edit, so we need to like try to be focused. So I thought it had to do with the plants making the noise. I thought you were trying to come up with the name of a plant that like mimics people. It's very creepy because the plant mimics voices, and so that kind of stuff is just very spooky. So I did give it 2.5 because it was relatively spooky, but it was just a bunch of, again, overprivileged, disgusting American tourists being jackasses in another country. So classic. Then The Bubble, which I gave 2 stars to. Do you remember that one? It's the one where all of the famous people are trying to make a movie. It's during the pandemic. It's a pandemic movie, so it takes place during the pandemic, and they're trying to make a movie.
Did I watch that whole movie?
We watched it.
Did I, though?
Yeah, and there's like the aging star and like the new up-and-coming star, and then David Duchovny, and it just tries a little bit too hard, and...
I mean, it looks like a fun time.
Yeah, it looks like it would be a fun time based on this picture here, but it wasn't a very fun time.
That's too bad.
Yeah, it was acceptable. I gave it 2 stars. It wasn't very good. I think it gets very tired and obnoxious after a while. But the premise is a good premise, and the cast is mostly good. So it's really a disappointment, that one. I wonder who wrote it. It's a Judd Apatow directed. Pam Brady and Judd Apatow wrote it, so it's fine. I don't watch it, though. It's not very good. Then Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. You fell asleep during this one. I wonder why I gave it 2 stars, because this picture right here also makes it look super creepy, which is not helpful, again, to you looking at it. It will just be a movie poster here. But, you know, it's based on the book, and I don't remember anything about it, so let's just move on. Midnight Kiss, this one I remember a lot about. This is another one of the Hulu Into the Dark series that I mentioned in my previous video. This one is also about New Year's. So it's the other season's one about New Year's. You did not watch this one. This one, the acting just was not good. So it's about a group of gay friends, and they have like a game that they play every midnight where they have to like kiss someone by midnight or something. I don't know if there's like a winner or a loser, or like what the rules of the game are, other than like the goal is to kiss like a stranger by midnight. And one by one people start dying. Classic. So yeah, in general, mostly my problem was the acting was not very good. It was subpar. There was one of the guys that's in it. There's a really famous clip of during the pandemic at some point, I think it was like very famous on Twitter maybe, of a guy who was being interviewed for a part, and you could hear the producer, the casting agent, like talking about like these poor actors living in these tiny little like apartments and all of this stuff, and then he's like, oh, you're not you're not muted. And he's like, I know I live in a shitty apartment and that's why you should give me this job. It was a very, very famous clip that happened. And he's in this movie. And so I feel kind of bad saying that the acting wasn't very good because that guy was really funny in that clip on the internet, but it just wasn't very good, the acting. So, you know, it was okay. Then, ooh, That's a More. You also didn't watch this with me. This I watched because of my friend Rachel's mother, Karen. Karen made me watch this horrendous romance movie about a woman who, what does it say? After her job and relationship implode on the same day as she starts from scratch and meets a dashing Spanish chef who might be her missing ingredient. Ooh, it's terrible. It's so bad. Again, acting atrocious. It's a real Hallmarky type thing. Although I don't know, because I think Hallmark movies have better acting probably than this. This is a Netflix version of a Hallmark movie, which I think is like even worse. So I would not recommend. I mean, actually, I would recommend if you like cheesy romance. There's a lot of bad wigs. I think the two guys have very bad wigs in this movie. And it's really uncomfortable because her mom is like forcing her to flirt with the chef and stuff. And she's like going through, you know, a breakup and a job loss. So she probably has, you know, has to grieve and go through some things as opposed to being like forced into something. I can't believe we're already at 21 minutes. Okay, let's just skip all of the rest and just only talk about this last one because this needs to end. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. We literally just watched this. What are your thoughts and opinions, Jake?
Well, it's a little bit much.
Just a little? You don't think it's a lot, a bit much?
Well, so we talked about this and we were talking about how you think it's made for adult men. Mm-hmm. And I think it's made for children.
I don't think it's made for
children. But
that
there's adults could like enjoy things about it while their kids are watching this children's movie.
Yeah, I think this is made for the Griswold men of the world, like a very specific type of suburban middle class dad that just like feels like everything always doesn't go his way.
But yeah, how do you not want to talk about Beauty and the Beast?
Oh, just because this movie is so long, but we can talk about it. This is the live action Beauty and the Beast.
Oh.
What?
I just thought you were talking about Beauty and the Beast in general.
No, I like the original. This is a movie. This is a video about how I didn't like things. I did not like the live action Beauty and the Beast. We watched it. It was kind of on in the background, but it's basically a word for word exact replica of a cartoon, which I know is a criticism that other people have done, so I'm not being extremely original right now. But what's the point? What's the point other than spending money and making money? It's disgusting. There's no point. There's literally no point.
I don't know. For some reason, it felt way worse. I don't know.
Yeah. I agree. Oh, gosh. Well, I guess not everyone that I'm friends with on Letterboxd thinks it was terrible. It was terrible. That's all I have to say about it. Okay, so let's be done.
Things you want to say about National Lampoon's?
I just don't like people hurting them. It's again, it's Home Alone, but for the adult male version of a Home Alone fan. And I don't like Home Alone either. I don't like watching people get hurt. I don't like, silly, dumb things. And this is very silly and very stupid. And there's just like a lot of over the top things. And there's a lot of just like actions and behaviors that I don't think rational human beings would do. Like Cousin Eddie, why are you emptying your, poop pipe into the sewer? That's disgusting. Why are you kidnapping a man? That's disgusting. I guess it's not like disgusting. It's irresponsible. There's just a lot of actions that happen in this movie that I think are
and then there's
so idiotic.
Like stuff of the time, like, oh, I'm a grown man who's married and like, this like,
yeah, I hate that.
Hot attendant at the
Oh yeah, counter. I forgot about that. Oh, I probably blocked it out.
Which I feel like was like a big, constant joke around in movies around.
Yeah, like I'm a happily married man, but oh boy, look at that hottie. Look at those boobies. Yeah, because he talks about like titties and stuff all the time. How could you think that's like a children's movie? There's like I feel like she gets like naked and stuff and is like naked in the pool.
It's just her back, right?
But still, I don't think that's made for children. I think it's made for
Well,
adults
like-
and that children can watch. But I don't think it's made for children.
PG-13.
Yeah, whatever. We have different opinions about it. It's fine. It's not good either way. So anyways, sorry this video is so long.
But
Thanks
what's her
for
face is
watching.
on there? From Seinfeld.
Oh yeah, that was funny. Julia Louise Dreyfus. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Sorry that this video is so long, and sorry that I had a little mini meltdown earlier. Do you have anything to say for yourself?
Congratulations.